Alrighty, what's up guys? We're back with another video. Today I'm going to be talking about the daily routine as a fan. Let me make sure this is working. Okay, we're back in it here. Okay, I'm going to run through this whole protocol and walk you through exactly what my day looks like as a $150,000 a month founder. Like I said in my video yesterday, our company does between like 130, high 130s to 160 a month consistently, and I'm trying to scale it up to $200,000 a month, or without sacrificing profit margins. So really just to go over the high level objectives of what I'm focusing on kind of on the day-to-day. Scale the biz to $200,000 a month at 30% net profit minimum, 10 hours of work a day. Sometimes Saturday, Sunday, that's honestly, I work pretty much every single day. There's not a day I don't work at all. Usually Saturday, Sunday, maybe it's like 6 hours on Saturday, 2 hours on Sunday. Ideally, I'd like to have Sunday no work, but I do find doing at least an hour or two of work gets me set up for the week. Sleep a minimum of 7.5 hours a night. I do use Whoop for tracking my recovery. I do want to be in the green every single weekday, at least. This past weekend, I was in the red, which I'll talk about here in a bit. Weight train 4 times a week, run 4 times a week, half marathon training. Looking to do a half marathon in December. So I'm trying to blend both. I did do a marathon before. I don't think a marathon is worth my time. The long runs, the training, as well as like whenever I do a marathon training, I just get super skinny. When I was in my best shape ever, it was when I did a half marathon like back in 2021, I want to say. Where I ran a half marathon fast and I was still maintaining my strength. So that's really the focus right now. Ultimate focus in high quality work, no shallow work. Yes, working 10 hours of work a day, but make sure that's actually like high quality work. Be prepared for my day every single day. Relationship with wife and friends. I cannot just lock myself in this apartment and ruin every single relationship I have. So of course we have to maintain that. The morning routine. So I'm going to walk through exactly what my morning routine is. It's funny enough because I didn't want to start talking about this until I really nailed this down. Since I got back from my honeymoon earlier in the month, I've been diligent on just like getting back into the most dialed, focused state. Every single morning, this is the first day where I didn't do this actually. So that's kind of the irony of this. And I'm keeping it real. But waking up at 6 a.m., today was the first time I actually failed that. I pushed it back to 7 a.m. Immediate hydration, get active clothes on. So second I wake up, I have my clothes ready, get my active clothes on, then go to my apartment gym and just walk on the treadmill for 10 to 20 minutes. Then I come back, I do a journal entry. Sometimes I do it on the balcony out here. Just kind of get focused, not in a reactive state. I'm not looking at Slack, I'm not looking at email. And with this, I'm usually a podcast, typically a podcast, is what I listen to during this time. Not like, mind-numbing stuff. Like usually it's like Real AF, Andy Frisella's podcast. It's like an Alex Becker video. My First Million. Right, getting my mindset in the right spot. Some mornings I want tactical stuff. Some mornings I want like motivation and mindset stuff. So depending on how I'm feeling, if I'm down bad, I'll get myself in a good mindset depending on the podcast or content I listen to on the treadmill. The 5-minute journal entry. So in the morning, I do like the simple 5-minute gather myself for the day. So this is the 5 things I do: intentions for the day, how I'm trying to show up, what I'm trying to accomplish, gratitude, what I'm grateful for, top priorities of the day, exactly like what those 3 to 5 things are that would make my day successful. Identity reminder. So reminder of my goals, reminder of why I do the things I do. Mental cleanse, like anything on my mind or I wake up thinking about it, just put it on paper just so I can see it in front of me. The first work blocks. This is the most important work block of the day. Get to work ASAP. So really I'm trying to fly through this morning thing. This isn't some like crazy morning routine. I don't care if it takes me a half hour or 45 minutes. I'm just trying to get this so I'm awake and I'm like active and alive. But get to work ASAP. Typically between 7 and 8 a.m. I'm starting work. That commences a 3 to 5 hour of deep work period to start the day. I protect that time like as much as possible. Today was actually the first day in a while that I actually had a sales call at 8 a.m. It's because the client was in the military and I had to move my schedule around to accommodate for his schedule. Good thing is that was worth it because we closed that deal. So protect that time. I'm not trying to have the team put sales calls on my calendar. I'm trying to really focus on the highest leverage tasks. And over the last 2 weeks, this work has yielded like massive returns. So I'm trying to protect that as much as possible. What is the work done during this time? Newsletters, copywriting for ads or creative, like it's all like the marketing funnel, the sales assets, content creation, is it new trainings, SOPs and delegation, how can I make my time more useful and automate some things. And then financial analysis and forecasting, a lot of what I do too is like running through the finances, making sure everything's moving in the right direction. Here's my deep work protocol. So now no shallow work. Everything is like, usually I focus on like 1 to 3 like projects. So usually the work periods are like 1 hour sprints, focusing on one thing, not jumping around to Slack. I keep computer tabs to a minimum, phone off, bricked. Brick is like it's a little thing to block apps on your phone. I personally don't feel like I need that. I'm pretty good about like not just scrolling during this period. My phone's either off, it's in another room, it's using the app blocker, which is the brick. Coffee and nicotine for focus. I have a coffee every single morning. Do use nicotine in to focus in. That just gets me super dialed in. I get a ton of stuff done. Full bottle of water handy, obviously showing up. Sipping water the whole time. Work at computer, so I'm either working here or I'm working at a coffee shop depending on the work. If I'm not creating content and I can just, there's a lot of writing like computer work, then I like changing my environment so I don't get sick and this office or apartment gets stale. So that's when I'm going to a coffee shop or something like that. I do not check Slack. I do not check email. I'm trying to say as focus on exactly like what the high leverage tasks are I need to get done for that day. During this period, I'm listening to deep melodic house music. Think like Rufus Du Sol, think Elderbrook, think if you search Gander on YouTube, he has the best mixes for work. That's what I listen to every single morning. That is the protocol. This works, gets me to usually 11 or 12. Again, this kind of like moves depending on when meetings start and stuff like that. But midday is when I go on more reactive mode. Like what's going on in the business? Who do I need to talk to? What meetings do I have? Do I have Slack? Do I have sales calls? Do I have a sales team meeting? I'm usually trying to train my sales team or my one sales guy daily. Usually it's like 3 to 4 times a week, but just being really focused on that. I also do have consulting calls I join. They're sometimes at like 10 a.m., 11 a.m. So that's a little bit earlier depending on the day if I want to join those calls. I review client performance, like make sure everything's good. If there's any client escalations or make sure everything's good on the client performance side. I take the sales calls, sales team calls, like I said, I maintain focus, but it's like lighter work and tasks. So it's the stuff that takes like 5 minutes to get done. It's the reactive stuff. It's all like my task list of random BS I have to do for the day. That's hammered out in the afternoon. Now, meal schedule. So this has actually been like, I've never been so routine about exactly what I eat at certain times. And this is what has worked for me for the last like year plus, but actually more recently it's been extremely dialed. So I fast until 11 or 12 p.m. The first meal is like a breakfast sandwich, 2 eggs, 2 turkey bacon, 1 English muffin. After that brings me to around 12, right? My first meal is around 12. I have for my second deep work block or second work block, that's where I have another caffeine, which is a white Monster. The afternoon snack, typically around like 2, 3-ish, depending on when I have time. Greek yogurt bowl with fruit and granola. Pre-workout runs, like a high carb granola bar if I have them, or just like a handful of granola. Dinner, high protein meal. Usually I'm eating like, I want to say like 300 grams of cooked meat, which is like 70, 80 grams of protein. So I'm kind of like stacking I have one big meal at the end of the day, chicken, ground beef, or ribeye. Late night snack, usually just to make sure I'm hitting my protein goal of like 200 grams of protein. That's a protein shake, which is 50 grams of whey, and then Fairlife. Workouts. So typically I go to the gym around 4 to 5 p.m. Like I said, I'm doing 4 strength training, 4 runs a week. Typically Saturday is like my long run day. So Saturday kind of doesn't really count part of this, but 45 to 60 minutes of strength training, 30 to 40 minute run. I like actually having just like back to back. I don't really like running in the morning. It's not my thing. I want to get right into work as soon as possible. I don't want to be all sweaty. So usually it's like, okay, get everything done by 4 or 5, like the main things done. Go like run, train, get my mind off things, and then I come back to like my nighttime to close things out. The split I'm following for workouts is a push-pull legs, arms, shoulders, and arms. Sometimes if I have time or if I'm ahead of my workout schedule, I'll add on a 5th workout. But again, the main focus is building the company and making my workouts as efficient as possible. This split is what personally works for me. It's not getting me in the best shape I've ever been or the strongest I've ever been, but it's what's working for me for this period of my life. I am training abs every workout. I used to like think training abs was a joke, but training abs every single workout, seeing positive results from that. The goal is to get to 200 pounds, lean, not skinny. I've gone through periods where I started running again and I get super skinny. So I'm trying to maintain muscle and not just run my muscle off my body. Nighttime. So after that, I get back from my workout. I'm going through any unclosed loops, checking Slack, any questions, any things I have to, get on my mind to prepare for the next day. I plan my day the night before, super intentional. This actually helps. The reason why, sometimes you can't get out of bed is because you actually don't know, like, you're not fired up to go work on something. You don't have clarity on what you have to do. So that leads to procrastination. So really make sure you're prepared the night before so you can attack those things in the next morning. 1 hour typically of quality time with the wife, 1 hour of Netflix. This is our non-negotiable rule. This has helped us over the last, say, 10 plus days. No screens after 9 p.m. It's very easy to keep, let's just play another episode. But if you just have a hard stop, you'll wind down, you'll get off, you're not in front of the blue screen, so you'll actually go to sleep on time, which is part of the reason, like, how you wake up is, like, make sure you're asleep by 10 if you want to wake up at 6. Bed routine. So these are the main things I've been doing over the last few weeks that have resulted in literally, like, the best recovery, best sleep performance. So making sure the apartment is clean, do any dishes, make sure, like, we're not, this is not a mess in the office or the kitchen. I read a book. I have Audible on as well. So every time I buy a physical book, I also get the audio book for efficient reading. Throw that on 2 to 3x speed. I put my headphones in. I put my phone in the bathroom. That has my alarm on it. So it causes me to get up and have to actually go in the morning, which helps me actually wake up. I do wear blue light glasses after 7 p.m., mouth tape and sleep mask on, and then room set to 65 degrees. The colder, the better, so I'm not sweating through the night. The 2-day rule. This is a really good rule. I think it's from Matt Diavella. It's like the productivity or self-help YouTube channel. But if you ever miss a habit or routine, you cannot let that happen 2 days in a row because it will slowly drift off and you'll just, like, stop doing it. So the 2-day rule is super helpful. So it's like if you miss, like, one thing or miss something today, like today I woke up at 7, not 6. Tomorrow I need to make sure I wake up at 6 or else it will spiral into a bad habit. Weekends, I'll talk more about this maybe in another video, but I try to maintain the schedule through Saturday. Sometimes on Saturday though, like, I'll, like, I'll go to bed an hour or two later and wake up an hour or two, but we're trying not to, like, use the weekends to totally just, like, not do any of these habits. So the more you can keep your habits and routine throughout the weekend, the easier it is to just keep this constant. Date night, Friday night, friends, Saturday night is kind of the cadence I've been following. Non-negotiable, date night, and then alcohol has been, like, I don't know what it is since getting married or whatever, the honeymoon and bachelor party. I used to never drink, like, never. Right now I'm on the cadence of 1 time a week. I want to reduce that to twice a month max because that definitely hinders my sleep and performance for the weekend. So this is a protocol I'm following. This has been the most efficient one. It's really no BS. Main focus is work, but also to make sure my health, my relationships and stuff are still moving in the right direction. And so I figured I would just share that as part of this daily series to show you guys, like, what my actual, like, day-to-day looks like with probably like a 90 to 95% like adhesion to this in the last couple of weeks since I got back. So really try to build on this, continue, I'll make updates to this if I think there's better things to do, but this is what's resulted in ultimate productivity, actually getting stuff done and moving things in the right direction. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm putting up videos every single day, just talking about what I'm doing right now to build my company, as well as self-improvement stuff. So make sure to subscribe and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.